Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. This is Jay from Illusion TV, and it's been a little while since I made a video, but today I'm back and I've got something I'm super excited to share with you. Back in January of this year, I picked up a pair of SC5000Ms and an X1800 mixer by Denon DJ, and I have to say that by far, it's been the best equipment I've ever used. It's very innovative. It's basically all of the performance feature of a controller into 2 decks and a mixer, and I've been so satisfied with them. The only downside to this system is that it's heavy to lug around. A few months ago, Denon DJ released a new device that was aimed at being more portable, the Denon DJ Prime Go. Okay, so why am I excited about this guy right here? Two things. The first reason is there have been so many times where I was invited to like a gathering, get together, or barbecue, and someone was like, oh, it would have been great if you could have DJ'd. And I'm like, yeah, it would have been. But, you know, lugging around your equipment, especially expensive equipment, isn't always ideal. That's where this guy comes in. This thing is battery powered, so you can take this anywhere, and Denon is claiming a 4-hour runtime off of one charge. The other reason why I'm super excited to get this is because how many times I download music, you know, I can use the computer through Engine Prime software to set up cue points and stuff, but to really like see how a song's gonna flow in like a playlist or a mix, I have to come to the decks. Well, now with this, I can do it anywhere. I can do it in the backseat of a car, I can do it on my couch. I'm gonna get this thing opened up, set up on the table, and I'm gonna go and give an in-depth review of the features and what this little thing can do. So stick around. Okay guys, so now that we have the unit right in front of us, the first thing you're gonna notice is just how compact this thing is. But honestly, don't let that fool you because it's a very, very powerful device. Initial impressions on build quality are very good. This thing has a nice weight to it. It's very solid feeling. All of the knobs and the buttons feel really good, like they're gonna be able to take some abuse. The channel faders are nice. Overall, it's just a really nice device. All right, so I'm gonna boot this thing up. And as that's turning on, I'm gonna grab my SD card, which I have just for the purpose of this video. And I'll wait till it boots up before I pop that in. I gotta say, the jog wheels are a little small, but they're very smooth and they're very responsive. Everything is just shrunken down on this unit. Okay, so now let's boot it up. I'm gonna put the SD card in. That pops right up. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is just go over the layout. So on the top left-hand side, you have your effects knobs. The first knob is gonna be FX Select. Let's go to this view. So when you start turning this, you'll see here that you're able to change, you know, and select the effect that you want. The second you want it, you click that button. And now the next button is going to be FX time parameter. That's going to let you change the settings of the beats. And also if you click it, it's going to let you change on this effect, it would be the decay. To the right of that, you're going to have your minimum and maximum wet dry knob, which will activate the effect. And then to the right of that, you have your deck assign, so 1 and 2. And that's also associated with lighting up blue on the bottom of the screen. Turn it off, and they get grayed out. Below the effect select knob, you also have the on-off button. And one thing to keep in mind is when you're, let's say you're gonna select another effect, right? We'll go to auto gate. The second I click that, it turns it off. So you're gonna have to keep that in mind if you're changing effects, that you're gonna have to reactivate the effect, as well as set up your settings. On the opposite side, we have the eject button, which will eject whichever media you have in it. We'll X that out. Then you have the master level, the booth level, and the mic 1 and 2 levels. Below those mic 1 and 2, you're gonna have on buttons, and on mic 1, you actually have talk over feature. So that's gonna be great for any mobile DJs or wedding DJs that you know, are constantly on the microphone making announcements. It's gonna bring down the volume of the music being played so you don't have to scream over it. I really enjoy that feature on my X1800, and I'm sure it's going to be great on this. Just below those two sections, you're going to have your EQ sections for deck 1 and 2. Now, what you'll notice right away that's a little bit different is that the equalizers are in a horizontal position where most mixers have them in a vertical. Now, some people say it's really weird, it bothers them. Honestly, after like 5 minutes of using them, it's business as usual. You don't even realize that, it's a big deal. The trim knobs are here, and below that, you're gonna have your deck 1 and 2, and you have hot cue, loop, and roll options for your performance pads, and a bank button. Now, there's only 4 pads here, so you say, all right, I need 8 pads, or I'm used to 8 pads. Well, the bank button, once you press it, it's going to change pads 1 through 4 into 5 through 8. So you're not losing any functionality here with this unit. And another note is that the bank button flashes. So this way, it's kind of like waving at you like, hey, you're on bank 2, because it can be easy to forget which bank you're on. To the right of your performance pad, you're going to have your auto loop button, which is also, when used with the shift button, doubles as your beat jump. Below that, you'll have your very smooth but very small pitch sliders, and they have a nice center detent at 0%. So that's really good, and because it's so tiny, you really do need that 0%. It helps a lot. You have your jog wheels, which are very, very smooth. They're very responsive for my testing. You could do some basic scratches on it, but it's gonna work for what you need it. Below that, you have your cue and play button and your pitch bend and range buttons. Okay, so moving on to the mixer section. So the mixer section, you're basically comprised of your channel faders, your crossfader, and your sweep effects and navigation. So first off, the channel faders. The channel faders are very, very smooth. They have a really nice resistance to them, and they're gonna be really great for like those smooth, long mixes. The crossfader is a lot looser than the channel faders, but it's nowhere near as loose as like the flex fader on the 1800 or X1850. But it works, it does its job, and you can adjust the contour of the crossfader, which we will get into in a little while. Above the channel faders, you have your sweep effects. The sweep effects have 2 banks, bank A and bank B. When bank A is selected, when you turn the knob to the left, you're going to get a low pass filter, and then to the right, you're going to get a high pass filter. When you select bank B, you're going to get like a washout effect, which is like an echo out effect. So to the right, it's going to be a 1 beat washout, and then to the left is going to be a half beat washout. They work really well, especially on vocals, and they help you get out of mixes quick. This is your navigation section. If I go into my crates, what you're gonna notice is you have the normal Denon Prime setup. You have crates, playlist, prepare, folders, and search. All right, this section here is gonna allow you to jump and navigate through what you want to see on the screen, and also through your crates, and then into your songs. And then once you have a song that you want to select, you can hit the load to the corresponding deck. And now you can see that that track is now loaded to the left deck. If we go back, I will select another song and hit left deck. And now you can see it is now set up for the left deck. Okay, so now that we have our 2 songs displayed, I'm gonna run through some of the effects, show off the jog wheels, the performance pads. All right, so if we hit play, we have a song playing. Okay, so now let's go to an effect. Let's go to echo. We'll select that, and we're on 1 beat, and select deck 2. And all of the effects are post fader, which is nice. Try another one, which I particularly like, is the flanger. Put this to 32. Select on again. Let's try the rollout. Hit the bank. So that's pretty cool. Now to set a loop, what you do is you just tap the button once and you see it scrolling. And when you hit it again, now it's gonna take that and save that loop. And to turn it off, you just hit the button again, it's off. And if I wanna start another loop, I can start another loop. All right. And now what's cool about the loop buttons is that, say I want to skip right to the first loop. If I tap it, it just jumps right to it. And it activates. Turn it off. So everything works just as you would expect it to, just as if you had a bigger setup, a Prime 4, or the SCs, the media players. Do one more. Just jump around. All right, and of course we have our hot cues, so we can and everything feels really nice and clicky, really robust. So they did a really nice job with the hardware, and the software is definitely getting better. All right, so now we'll show off the sweep effects. So now, like I said, if I turn the sweep effects knob to the left on bank A, it's gonna give you that nice low pass. And if we do it to the right, get a nice high frequency. And now the sweep effects will be on bank 2, which will be the washout. So if you leave it there, it's almost like an echo. And if you turn it all the way, it's gonna kill it. So try it here. It works really well, especially on vocals. All right, so now that we have all the performance pads, I demoed some of the effects, the sweep effects. Now let's go into the menu. I'm gonna lower this a little bit and put a loop on. Okay, so one thing that's really cool is that you have this drop-down menu. And what's that gonna do is it's gonna give you a crossfader adjustment. And on the contour is right here. So if I do that, you can see the volume changed. It's off. Get closer to the right, it comes back. I like it sharp so that this way. Now it's not as tight as some people would like. I did hear that they are gonna fix that in a software update, but it works. It works and it works well. You also have stop time. So you can set whether the track stops slowly to kind of emulate like a turntable, or you can set it where it just completely stops when you hit the button, right on the dot. I like to leave mine about right here. Okay, so now you also have quantize on and off, you have a continue button. So when you activate that, when this song is done playing, it's going to go to the next track in your crate or your playlist, so you can kind of take a break from everything and keep the music going. And then you have a record feature, which will record onto the media that you have plugged in. Today we're using an SD card. You can use a USB stick or a USB external hard drive. And it all works very well. You can also disable your effects with this FX enabled button. You can see that they disappear from the bottom of the screen. Okay. So the next thing I'm gonna show, and we'll start with this one, is just go through the beat jump and the loops. And so the beat jump, basically, when you hold down shift and you turn the knob, whatever you have set for your loop, so we'll put it on 32 beats, I'll hold shift and then I'll turn the knob, and it's gonna start jumping you through the track at 32 beats. So, and you can do that 8, 16, whatever you like. It's a really nice way to kind of navigate through a song. It also works if you're playing the song. So if I hold it, and it keeps the song in time. That's pretty cool, right? I think so. And now, if I do the loop, let's say I'll do a four beat loop. Now if I hold shift, I can move that loop. And if I go all the way back, it's actually gonna just start skipping the song. So that's how you use your loop and your beat jump. It's pretty cool. And I think I've covered pretty much everything. On the front of the unit, you have a Q mix knob, so you can do the master, you can leave it in the middle for the Q, or all the way over, which will isolate. The level for the headphones is here, as well as your auxiliary level. Now, I've been told that the auxiliary level goes right to the master. There is no control with the channel faders, so that's just something to keep in mind. And now we're gonna just go really quick to one of the biggest features, which is gonna be when I unplug this. So right now, if you look at the screen, it says it's 100%. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but we are now fully battery powered. They claim that you'll get about 4 hours of battery life with this fully charged. I can tell you right now, I've used it for the last 2 days and I've tested it, and I've gotten exactly 4 hours of use. Just mixing and scratching with the hip hop. You know, it's definitely given me the 4 hours that they claim. I watched the video the other day and somebody said that, you know, they only got like 3 hours and like 30 minutes or something like that. But it's going to depend on your usage, how you have it set up, screen brightness. I'm sure it has a lot to do with where your master level is at, things like that. Okay, so really quick, I want to go into the menu. So if I hold down the view button, you have a main menu here. You have utility, preferences, source, and record. If you go into utility, it's going to have things like Wi-Fi settings, nudge sensitivity, track preview, screen plugged in. So your settings, your screen can be bright when it's plugged in. It could be on low to save battery when it's running off the battery. You have mic attenuation, mixer settings, filter resonance, ISO, EQ, crossover, filter extreme. So these filters can be bleed or they can be kill. You can also do the same thing with your EQs. You have title integration. And then on preferences, you have the normal track start position, sync mode, display settings, safety, library, and deck colors, which doesn't apply to this, but if you have a media player, that's how you're able to set your, deck colors. Okay, so really quick to show off one more thing is going to be anything on this controller that has a white box under it is going to be when you press the shift button. So if I press shift and I hit the range, I can control my pitch range. You're gonna also be able to change from the horizontal waveform by hitting Shift and View, and now it's going to put it into vertical waveform. So, some people like this. I technically like them stacked on top of each other, but it works. Yeah, so anything that you want to customize, pretty much as of now, there's a lot of options. I'm gonna go back to this. Let's look at the track preview really quick. So if you look on the right-hand side, you have your tempo. So 122 for this track, 101 for the top track, track 1. You have your pitch percent, which you can change again using the shift button. As you can see, I'm going through. It goes all the way to 100%, which is really cool. I leave mine on 20. Then you have the percent at which it's adjusted to as you move the pitch slider. So you can see exactly what you're doing. You also have time elapsed, time remaining. You have the sync button. So if I turn on sync on either deck, you'll see that little icon light up. You have a key lock. You have the key of the track being played, and then of course the track information. On the left-hand side, you also show the amount of beats that you're setting for your beat jump controls or your loop. And if I push the button, it will highlight the track, and that will play in a loop. All right, and on the top, you also have a Wi-Fi indicator, a battery percentage. It also shows you if you have talk over selected and the continue button option selected. It also shows if quantize is on or off. Okay guys, so this has just been a quick overview. I wanted to run through all of the features and show you guys how this thing works. I've been playing with it for a couple days, and honestly, I'm very impressed. I'm very happy with it. It sounds great. That's one of the first things I noticed when I took it out of the box, was just the sound that came out of this thing. I was very, very impressed. Like I said, Denon DJ is definitely stepping up their game. There are some things that could be tweaked in this to make it even better than it already is, but I'm sure that's going to come in a firmware update. If you're considering a device like this to be ultra portable, I say go ahead, give it a try. You're probably going to be pretty impressed with it. So what did you think about this beast of a device? This little thing is a powerhouse. I've went over a lot of the features and the capabilities, but one thing that's really exciting about the Prime series is that it is upgradable by firmware, which means as bugs come up, Denon can patch them as well as implement new features that people are requesting. Denon DJ has really stepped up their game with this device. And I gotta tell you, I love my SC5000s and I'm loving this Prime Go. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It helps me make new videos just like this one. If there's anything I missed, please put it down below in the comments and I will get back to you. Okay, until next time guys, I wanna say be well, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.